Hi friends, welcome to a new vlog. So this one is going to be a bit themed with everything that's been going on lately. I feel like I'm ready for some cozy reading time. So I've decided I'm going to do like a cozy fantasy, cozy sci-fi, maybe even a cozy mystery. Just kind of let's get cozy together as we read, because I feel like that's just what I'm needing in life. So I've actually already started the first book for this project. So I'm going to cut to future Shay, who's going to tell you all the books we've read. And then I will come back to this point and tell you what I'm currently reading. So friends, I ended up reading 5 items for this particular vlog. I hope you enjoy it. So first up, we have A Psalm for the Wild Built by Becky Chambers. Then we have Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. Then we have The Tea Dragon Society and The Moth Keeper, both by Kay O'Neill. And then the last one we have here is The House Witch by this amazing person that I cannot pronounce their name. So back to Past Shay. So what I'm currently reading is A Psalm for the Wild Built by Becky Chambers. In this one, we're following a tea monk who is non-binary, I believe, and they are feeling like they're stuck in life, like something's missing. And so they decide to change their monk profession. So he goes to the leader of this sect, I guess you could say, that he's a part of, and says, I'm going to change my profession. I'm going to be a tea monk. And I'm going to go to the outer villages because I need to leave the city. And, you know, she asks if they want to apprentice for a while, and they say no. And they want to do it on their own. So they're kind of wanting to fend for themselves in a way. And so we are just getting into this. I love the pace. The pace is just very slice of life. And I love me a good slice of life manga. So I feel like this cozy category of reading that we're all getting is very slice of life, looking at the good things. And so far it's been lovely. This is my first Becky Chambers as well. So this is my first experience with their writing, and I am absolutely adoring it. I cannot get enough, and I definitely want to read more. I'm only about 20-ish pages into this 150-page book so far, but I'm already very on board with the situation. We have yet to meet the robot, but the situation is when robots became sentient, they basically said, we've only ever known what it's like to live as a human, so thank you, but we're not going to stay here. We're going to go into the wild. And so I'm really excited to see where this is going to go. I think it's just going to be very sweet, very cozy, and we'll move on from there. But that's where we're starting this vlog. I will update you more once I've read a little more, and just know that I think this whole cozy trend is going to stick around for a while because, man, it feels like we all need it. Hi there. So I have now finished A Psalm for the Wild Built by Becky Chambers. And this book is absolutely everything. Mosscap is my new best friend. I have annotated some really beautiful and poignant passages throughout. And this book is so good. I cannot wait to pick up the second one. Becky Chambers' writing style works for me, so I'm definitely going to be picking up more Becky Chambers because this was my first Becky Chambers. And honestly, Dax and Mosscap really go there with the discussions that they end up having. And I love where this one ends, and I'm really excited for the second one because of that. So 5 stars. I love everything about it. I did a blended read where I was listening to the narration while I was reading and annotating along with it. So I would definitely recommend that, honestly, because sometimes it's just so beautiful that you're just like, oh, I need to mark it. So I highly recommend approaching it that way. The narration is done very well. And yes, I loved everything about this and cannot wait to read more Becky Chambers. I go to work today. I'm probably going to pick up 1 or 2 more. So the other thing is, I'll probably insert a clip of me talking about this from another vlog. So this might be a duplicate for you, and I'm sorry if it is. But that is, I read Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. I figured out that Heather Fawcett is an author that I've read before. She wrote a YA series that was kind of survivalist with witches that I really quite enjoyed and not a lot of people had talked about. But in this one, I think the hype got to it a bit because this is like a 3.5, 4 star. I like the setup for future books, but one thing that I think did this book a disservice, Izzy and I talked about this at length, is that I actually think the journaling format of this particular book did not do it any favors. I think that choice made sense in a way, but at the same time, the execution of it, I think this would have just been better told as an adventure story, or maybe just like in the future as a narrative to what happened. So a lot of this was we were being told, not shown. And so that I think was the disservice here, because I know that this author can show things really well. So again, it's not that this one's bad, and I do think too many people hyped it up, but I'm interested enough to continue, but this isn't going to be a book for everybody. And I can tell you that right off the bat. It's not a bad one. Our hero, he grew on me throughout, but he's pretty insufferable for a good chunk of the book. And his name is awful. It's Bamberly. Yeah, I always want to say Bramberly, and his name's Wendell. And that just gives you an air of the pretentiousness of him. And yeah, he's got secrets, obviously. This was compared initially to Howl's Moving Castle, and I would not compare it to Howl's Moving Castle. I don't think that's a good comp. I could see people comparing Bamberly to book Howl, not movie Howl, but movie Howl is the superior Howl to me. So I really, like I say, I'm excited for the setup for book 2, but this one didn't quite do it for me. So this one is definitely dubbed as a cozy, and it does have a cozy feel to it, but I do think this one succumbed to hype because people were hyping the cozy. I mean, it's good. I'm landing on like a 3.5, 4 stars with it. Not a new favorite cozy for me, but I am interested enough to continue the series. So we've got a huge win and a slight disappointment so far. Let's see what the next one brings us. Okay, so it's time to actually wrap up this vlog. I have read 3 other books, but I realized I didn't film any more clips for it. I thought I had, but I didn't. So we're here to wrap everything up. Real quickly, let's talk about the 2 graphic novels that I read, and then I did read 1 other novel. So first up, we are going to talk about The Tea Dragon Society by Kay O'Neill. The Tea Dragon Society is a staple in cozy reading. This one truly does stand above the rest when it comes to that cozy vibe. In this first installment in the Tea Dragon comic series, we follow these 2 characters through the 4 seasons over the course of a year, and we get to know the essence of tea dragons and tea making and all those kinds of things. And we have our main character here. I just spaced on her name. Greta. Greta's her name. And Greta is set to kind of follow in the footsteps of their mother, who is a blacksmith. But that doesn't really call to her in the same way that tea making does. And so this is about her journey in finding a way to be true to herself while also being true to her roots. It's beautifully told. The art is absolutely cozy and adorable. I mean, this is technically a middle grade novel, like a middle grade graphic novel, and I absolutely adore it. Would 10 out of 10 recommend. I have picked up the 2nd installment and do plan on reading it very soon. The other one that I read for this project was also by Kay O'Neill, and that is The Moth Keeper. This is their newest. It is also much longer. And this is about Anya. Anya is set to serve her village by being a moth keeper. And to do so, she basically makes sure the moths get back to their home so that they don't like get hurt by the sun or eaten by animals, things like that. And then she takes them out every evening and helps them like light the village and all those kinds of things, because her entire village lives in the nighttime. There is another village that lives during the daytime, but hers is of the night, and being a moth keeper is a great honor and responsibility. But is it worth the cost? Because you're basically isolated from your entire village. And so this is about Anya's journey in being a moth keeper and what that means. And it's beautiful. I loved everything about this. Again, we have very cozy art vibes here. And I absolutely plan on picking up more Kay O'Neill throughout. Like, anytime they come out with something, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to pick it up and enjoy it. Their way of storytelling, their way of drawing, I enjoy all of it. So, would definitely recommend picking up Kay O'Neill if you haven't. And if you feel like the Tea Dragon Society is just a little too light, this one does have a little more depth and oomph to it because it's longer. And so Kay O'Neill was able to dip into the story deeper. So I would definitely recommend picking this one up, even if you felt like the Tea Dragon Society didn't give you quite enough. And then the last thing we're going to talk about for this vlog is the House Witch by, I cannot pronounce their name. I believe it's either Swedish or Dutch. I can't remember which. Hopefully Editing Shay can add it right here. But anyhow, in this one has all the Howl's Moving Castle vibes. The Encyclopedia of Fairies didn't, but this one definitely does. So we have this man who shows up at the castle. He is the new hired cook, and he has to kind of do his thing from there. And he doesn't want anyone to know that he is a house witch, essentially. So they are powerful and can wield all sorts of types of magic, but it is contained within their house. And so it's very interesting. This first installment especially does have some high stakes moments, but for the most part, it is truly just them going forth and getting to know the people in the castle that they can trust, finding someone to have a romantic love interest with, and it is truly just cozy. I really enjoyed my time with it. I actually took my time with it. It took me 4 or 5 days to read, when normally I would knock something like this out in 1 or 2. I really just enjoyed my time. I didn't want to rush it. I thought it was truly enjoyable. I enjoyed every moment with these characters. I'm so glad that there's more. I believe there's 2 more. I do have the second one checked out from my library, or I will have the second one checked out through Kindle Unlimited. That's where I was checking out very soon. I'm just trying to free up a few things from my library. And I really just enjoyed my time. It really was fantastic. And this vlog was a lot of fun. I have realized that cozy things are definitely my vibe, and that I definitely want to read more cozy. So with that said, I am going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know your favorite cozy reads down below, and if you're here just because you love me, leave me your favorite star emoji to match my shirt, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
It's been raining for days now, been running like a child. Can't feel the cold, well I'm lost here with you, lost in the woods. Lost as I should.